YB stays on your neck.
Yo, my dance, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. Unfortunately, your boy, the YB, has some more unnerving news. In fact, he's heard from more unnerving news from Tyson Fury's physician. The latest stack or rack of blood tests have been performed by Fury's physician, and I can now inform the paying public that Tyson Fury is indeed even more shot than the last time the YB reported on it. His DGL cells are even higher. Yeah? So everyone's sitting there and saying, oh yes, YB, oh, it's not DGL cells, oh YB, it's not this, oh, it's not that, oh, Tyson Fury, he couldn't get up for it, oh yes, oh. Everyone's saying that. Unfortunately, it's not the case. He is indeed shot, and the stats are there to prove it. Now, let's cut to the chase. As I reported about a week ago now, when the fight originally happened, you saw some stats leaked by the YB from the scientific community of Fury's versus Wallin's fight. And that Fury versus Wallin fight showed that Otto Wallin was the first man to land 127 shots on Tyson defensive. Tyson, oh yes, he can't land a glove on me. Oh, Anthony Joshua, oh, too stiff. Otto Wallin hit me more times than anyone in my whole career. So yeah, different Fury, making a point of the fact that he got hit the most times in his whole career by a bum. And that there actually took quite a few people back. I saw quite a few Fury fans already preparing their holes to dig for Fury's next fight, when it'll be even more confirmed that he's shot when he gets in there with Wilder. Yeah, you man, like I said before, I've seen a few. It's funny, you know, where I live. Obviously, I don't really know who follows the YB, but trust me, I've looked out my window, because in my back window you can see about 4 or 5 houses. And in them 4 or 5 houses, in about 3 of them, I've seen some new fresh holes, which implies to me, or tells me, there are a few Tyson Fury fans who've been watching the YB. They are preparing their holes to dig, to hide from the YB. Come when Fury fights Wilder, and then there's flat on his back. And when it happens, don't no one come crying to me about, oh YB, you should have said more. Oh YB, you should have stopped him. Oh, he can't, he's not getting up, YB. Oh YB, what's going on? Oh, Tyson Fury, he's not getting up. Oh, that's what you'll be sitting there trying to blame me for it, telling me about how I should have said more, how I should have done more. I've done all I can. I've warned him. I'm telling him not to go in there with Wilder. Yeah. People say I don't like Fury. I love Fury. I care for Fury on a humanitarian level. I don't want to see him in there with Wilder. I really don't. It don't do nothing for me anymore. Yeah. If I was a hater, I'd be saying, you know what? Yeah, get in there. I'd be G'ing him up. Yeah, Fury, you can really do something. He can't do nothing. He's gone past the stage of being a joke anymore for me. This is about a man's health we're talking about here. Do you understand that? He just went life and death with Wallin. Anyway, let's cut to the new news. I got some new news. Let's cut to the new news coming out fresh. So we've quite rightly identified now, Wallin landed the most punches in Fury's career. Now that, as I said, that took quite a few people back. That got people digging holes in their gardens and whatnot, through fear of what the YB would say next. However, shockingly enough, that's only the start of Fury's problems. That's only the start of implying how shot Fury is. So, the fact that Wallin, a man with no speed, no power, no combinations, landed the most punches in Fury's career, that's bad enough, but that's not where it ends, unfortunately. The plot thickens as follows, and you'll see on your screen now the CompuBox figures from Fury versus Wallin. So the total punches landed were 127. However, look at Wallin's output. You see here, first round, 19 shots. Now bear in mind, the heavyweight average is around 42 punches. The heavyweight average is 42 punches. So just look how many shots Wallin threw. He threw 19 in the first round, 42 in the second round, 28 in the third round, 21 in the fourth round, 31 in the fifth round, 27 sixth, 28 seventh, 28 ninth, 23 ninth, sorry, 24-10, 26-11, and 37-12. So in only one of them rounds did he hit the heavyweight average, and that was round 2 at 42 shots. The rest of the fight, he was massively under it. The rest of the fight, he averaged somewhere like something. I mean, for the whole fight, Wallin averaged about 29 punches for the whole fight per round, which is 12 punches below the heavyweight average. Something like 20-30% below the heavyweight average. Now, the reason that makes it worse is because if, as an example, if Wallin had thrown, like, I don't know, 900 punches in the fight, you could sit here and say, well, YB, the fact that Wallin landed 127 punches doesn't mean much because he threw 900 punches. So, of course, he's going to land the most in Fury's history. The shocker is, though, Wallin, he only threw about well, it's here in front of me. Wallin threw 333 punches. 334 punches, sorry, in the whole fight. He threw 333. Now, just for comparison, as an example, yeah? Fury, on the other hand, in the same fight, he threw 651. So that just there goes to show you. Fury threw twice as many shots as Wallin in that fight. That's how low Wallin was below the heavyweight average. Fury, he comes in about just a bit over average. More or less bang on average, if the truth be known. Wallin, literally half of the amount Fury throws. But yet, even though Wallin threw no punches, really low amount of punches, he still landed the most on Fury. That there is worrying. That there shows you that Fury's head movement is gone. Fury's legs are gone. Fury's slickness is gone. And that there, basically what I'm trying to tell you is, the stat we're talking about here is accuracy. Wallin's accuracy was through the roof because he didn't throw many punches, but the punches he did throw, damn near half of them literally landed. Wallin landed 38% of his shots. More than 1 in 3 were landing. Comparatively, Fury, for example, he was only landing 27%. That there's a massive difference. And if you look through Fury's fights, people aren't landing 38. As an example, Mayweather's punch stats, they're something like 38%. Only Mayweather lands, most fighters land like 25% of their shots. Wallin's landing 38%. Is Wallin that much of an accurate fighter? Is he really? I don't think so. What I think's more likely is the fact that Wallin was in there with a man whose head movement is well and truly shot and finished. Because, let's get it right, Fury's known as the man who moves his head, who moves his feet, who's evasive, who's elusive. So how is it Wallin's landing 38% of his shots? I'm telling you now, that's because Fury couldn't move his legs and couldn't move his head. People say, oh well, he couldn't get up for it. Oh well, and let me squash that then. If it was because Fury couldn't get up for it, how does that, why would you be hit more if you can't get through a fight? Your head movement doesn't just turn off. Your feet don't just turn off. It's like, as an example, DeGale. Look at DeGale versus Truax. The first fight, which showed us James DeGale was finished. For me, it's exactly the same. People were saying, oh, this, that, the other. Truax hit DeGale with every shot as well. This is what I'm trying to tell people. It's not rocket science here. The numbers really don't lie. Now, let me address the other issue that people talk about. People talk about, oh, well, YB, Fury, this has got nothing to do with Fury being shot. It's because Fury had a cut. Once again, let me well and truly cook this cut argument. If you're telling me that Wallin landed a high percent of punches, a 38% of punches, if Fury got hit with a record amount of shots, if Fury got hit with record accuracy by Wallin and record volume, i.e. 127 shots, which is the most in Fury's career, and by 38% accuracy, which I'm willing to bet that's probably a career high by Wallin as well in terms of percent. Fury's normally much more elusive. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do now. Let me bring up Wilder versus Fury punch stats, and we're going to see, because Wallin was 38%. Let's see what Wilder was versus Fury, because I'm willing to bet. In fact, what we'll do is we'll do a bit of a science test here. We'll test Wilder and we'll test the clit, because the clit is another good quality puncher. Oh, look, there we go. Would you believe this? Tyson, so Wilder, for comparison, yeah? And you got to remember as well, Wallin was just slugging punches. Wilder's actually a very accurate puncher because he doesn't throw many. You ready for this? Wilder threw 430 punches and he landed 16% of them. Yeah? So Wallin landed twice as many shots as Wilder did. That's how shocking it was. Seriously, that's how shocking it was. He landed 16%. That's what Wilder landed. Wallin landed 38%. Do you understand that now? The difference there. Is Wallin this really accurate, really focused puncher? No, he's not. He's rubbish. Is he really quick? Was it because he was catching Fury with really quick shots? No. Fury is shot. If this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what will. Because Wilder threw a similar amount of shots as Wallin. The difference is, Wallin landed twice as many. Or he was more than twice as accurate. That there doesn't just happen by pure chance. And it's not because Wallin has a really accurate skill set. Let me now do the next test. Let's test Klitschko. Should have had this prepared really, but I didn't think to do it. Let's now look at Klitschko versus Fury Compy box. This will be the final test for me. If Klitschko landed less than 38%, then for me, it's game, set and match in my opinion. It proves, this is complete proof, absolute proof, that he's shot. Because there's no way this Wallin guy is purely more accurate and purely more a higher skilled and more finesse and more precise puncher. So it says here, thrown, total punches. Vladimir Klitschko threw 231 shots and he landed 52 shots. So his accuracy was around 22%. There you go then. So once again, Wallin came in at 38%. So Wallin was damn near twice as accurate as Klitschko was. And that's the other thing you've got to bear in mind as well. Listen, that was Fury's pinnacle for me. Fury's pinnacle was versus Klitschko. And Klitschko actually threw a similar amount of shots, or actually less than Wallin. Wallin threw 330. Klitschko threw 230. So Wallin threw 100 more shots than Klitschko. But yet, he was still more accurate. So that there, I don't know what people want here. And if you look at Fury's consistency is, not many, when fighters fight Fury, they don't throw many punches because he's elusive. When you throw shots and someone's slipping them, when you throw shots and someone's slipping and countering them, when you're throwing shots and people are moving their feet, it turns off your offense because it's embarrassing. No one wants to be throwing shots and made to look silly. That's what Fury does. That's why Klitschko only threw 230. That's why Wilder only threw 430. They don't throw many because he's elusive. Wallin didn't throw many, which is consistent, but he landed 38%. Meanwhile, the high caliber people, Klitschko, Wilder, who you'd expect to have a higher accuracy, be more precise than random ass Wallin. Klitschko's faster. Wilder's faster. Wilder's more precise. We know that. Klitschko's more precise. So how is it? This is what someone needs to explain to me. How is it? Someone solve the inequality for me. Someone show me how Wallin was the one to land, or someone tell me how Wallin was 38%, landed 38%, which equates to more than twice as accurate as Wilder and about twice as accurate as Klitschko. It's because he's shot. Can't move his head, can't move his legs. And as I said, let me quickly clear up the eye business. If you cut your eye, guess what? You should move your feet more. If your eye's cut and you're about to be stopped, where's the last place you want to be? In front of someone, toe to toe. Because if you're toe to toe in front of someone, they can hit that cut. You're in danger zone. At that point, Fury's game, bearing in mind this is what Fury does all day. It's not like we're trying to tell Mike Tyson, you got a cut. Now you need to box smart. Now you need to be evasive. Now you need to run backwards. This is what Fury does, by the way. This is his game plan. So my question is, when you're cut and vulnerable in the pocket, why was Fury's game plan not to run backwards? Why didn't he start running backwards and doing what he does well? Why didn't he start, you know what, I've got a cut. Bearing in mind it was very risky this time. It was very likely the fight could have been stopped. So Fury should have been really cautious. He should have been saying, you know what? What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do enough to win the fight and not get stopped. I know what I'll do. I'll jab. I'll step in, or I'll slap a jab and be out the back door. Just do enough to point score and get through the fight. Like I say, bearing in mind this is what Fury does all day. So what I'm trying to tell you lot is this. The reason Fury didn't do that is because he is shot. The same as DeGale versus Truax. DeGale could have, if DeGale had been half the man he was before, guess what he'd do? He could have just jabbed. Truax weren't... DeGale made Truax look like a boxing god. But we knew that isn't the case, because the minute Truax stepped up, he got schooled. He got beat by DeGale. My point is, where is Truax now? For me, that's the perfect example, actually. Truax was a no-one, and he's gone on to be a no-one. But he beat DeGale. DeGale made him look great, but people didn't realise how finished DeGale was. Same as Fury, in my opinion, and the next few fights are going to prove it. We'll soon see anyway. We'll soon see. But for me, that DeGale versus Truax performance is like Fury versus Wallin. The difference is Fury fans can sit there and say, oh, it's the cut. But I'm saying, the cut doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. Yeah? We all know Ben Davison's an extremely defensive trainer. So what you got to ask yourself, why wasn't he telling Fury to go backwards? He was. Do you think he had a massive cut which could have been stopped? And Ben Davison was telling him, I'm not Fury. Stand in the only place that he can hit you again. Stand in a place where we know the cut can get worse. Do you think that's what he told him? No, he didn't. He said, listen, jab and get out of the way. Jab a point in and get out of the way. Keep it smart. Box elusive. Fury couldn't do that. His legs were done. His legs were done. His speed was done. His power was done. The reason he was slugging wasn't because he was trying to impress the fans. Wasn't because of anything else. It was because his legs are finished. And even his dad said he looked like a kitten in there. His feet were nowhere to be seen. His head movement was nowhere to be seen. His power was nowhere to be seen. These there, all jokes aside, these are classic symptoms of being shot. Seriously, I'm not even joking now. Seriously, the minute them legs go, and we know Fury had the best pair of legs in the heavyweight division. So for me, the minute they've gone, and when I say gone, I mean gone. It was not as if Wallin was really quick on the feet and was negating Fury's footwork. Fury literally was not using them at all. And I don't believe it's because he chose to do that. I believe it's because when you become shot, you just don't have it in them anymore. You just don't. It's just not there. You haven't got that kind of go. You have to be that kind of style of fight. And we saw AJ. AJ tried that for 2 rounds in the Wallin fight, in the Ruiz fight, and ended up gassed. It's for all my criticisms of Fury, I've never lied and said he didn't have good legs. I've dissed him in as much as saying he ain't got no power, but I've always given him credit. His wheels are world class. Where have they gone? Yeah? You don't lose your world class set of wheels because, oh well, he wasn't motivated. They don't just disappear like that. And we know he's been training hard as well. If he hadn't been training hard, you could say, well, why? But it's nothing to do with being shot. It's because he didn't train hard. He's in training, by the way. Same as DeGale was. DeGale's been in training. His legs didn't work. His power didn't work. So anyway, I'll be intrigued to see what you lot think on this one. It's quite a sad day in terms of the stats, in terms of the science, proving that Fury's finished. But time will surely tell on this one. I'm just saying, I just don't think it's a smart idea. I think Fury's days, even talking about the top level of boxing, are over. But I'll be intrigued to see what you might think nonetheless.